Gia, it's your boy Chad Rob. Hey, welcome back to the hashtag AMWHOIAM podcast. This is episode 47. I got a really special guest. You know, I'm a gym rat, so I had to, get somebody from the gym to talk to us about, healthy lifestyles and bettering yourself mentally, physically, and all the above. So, introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I am Kathryn Norris. I am 23 and I'm a personal fitness trainer at National Fitness.
Oh, wow. So National Fitness.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we located? Where is National Fitness?
We are located in East Tennessee.
Okay.
So it's a total of 8 gyms around Sevierville, Knoxville. I work at the Maryville one.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So the reason why I said that is based on your accent. It does not sound like you are from Maryville,
No, I'm not from Maryville. I was born in Dallas, Texas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And actually I got diagnosed with cystic fibrosis.
Okay.
Which is a lung condition. It's genetic. It also affects the GI system. I got diagnosed with that and I wasn't getting the right treatment. At that time, cystic fibrosis was not a disease that a lot of people knew about. And even there wasn't that much science behind it. So my mom is from Barcelona, Spain. And
nice. So what year were you born?
96.
Okay, the Barcelona was 92, the Olympics?
Yes, I had to check that 3 days ago. Somebody asked me. My mom is from Barcelona, so we just decided to move there for socialized medicine.
Okay.
I grew up there. I grew up in a little town in the coast of the Mediterranean. It was amazing. It was 15-minute walk to the beach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's great. It was great.
That's what's up.
So I stayed there 16 years.
Okay.
And then we decided that the economy was not doing that great. So we decided to move here to Maryville. We had family.
So Texas, Barcelona, how in the world did y'all find
Maryville,
Tennessee?
So my dad has a sibling. He has a brother, and he had his own landscaping business here. So it was just an easy move, going somewhere where we had family and my dad had a job secured.
Oh, okay.
So very random spots in the U.S., but we love it.
That's what's up.
Yeah, we love it here.
So what is exactly socialized medicine?
Basically, you pay, the taxes are higher.
Mm-hmm.
This is very modified. It's so much more complicated. But basically, they take out more money from your income, about what you make, and then everybody gets the same healthcare. So it's free, but they take out a big chunk of what you make.
Gotcha.
So some people may not use it because they're healthy, but it really helps people that have conditions like me, where medicines are hundreds of thousands of dollars in a year.
Wow.
Okay. But yeah, it has its ups and its downs.
Right. Because
a lot of people, unfortunately, take advantage of the situation.
Yeah.
And that's not how it works. Everybody has to be fair at it. But,
right.
Yeah.
So, your condition, what was it? What did you say it was
It's
again?
cystic fibrosis.
Cystic fibrosis.
So, basically, my body's missing a protein.
Okay.
And that protein, what it does is breaks down mucus. So all our entire body has mucus, from our GI tract, our lungs and everything, just to help things move. And in my case, I'm missing that protein, so it makes the mucus very thick and sticky.
Okay.
So it affects more my lungs because we have these little holes in our lungs that let fluid come in and out of the lungs and cleanse themselves. I don't have that. Mine are blocked. So I have very thick mucus in my lungs, and I had to do a lot of breathing treatments. A lot of exercise was the best medicine.
Okay.
Breathing treatments, antibiotics, so much. It was 2 hours a day of treatments.
Wow.
Yeah, and I did that from when I was 3 months old until 2 years ago when I got my lung transplant and liver. Yeah.
Wow. So were you able to play any sports as a kid?
I danced.
Okay.
Yeah. So back then, like, they knew for sure that exercise was the best medicine. You get your exercise, you start using your lungs that are also muscles. They need to be worked just as any other muscle in the body. So my mom put me in every extracurricular activity. I was in swimming, I danced, I mainly did ballet.
Okay.
I was in rollerblading, like anything that the school offered, she would put me in.
Right.
Like it or not, you had to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of exercise.
That's what's up.
And then cystic fibrosis also affects the GI system.
So what is that? So I'm not really. I've heard of GI tract. Does that sound right?
So it's all the digestive system is from your trach. It starts at your mouth actually. So it's all the organs and parts of your body that work into digestion of food, absorbing nutrients. So it goes from the mouth to the big intestine.
Gotcha.
So all those little, like the pancreas, the liver, all that is involved in the absorption of nutrients and fueling the body.
Gotcha. Okay.
So my pancreas is also messed up due to the thickness of this mucus, so I can't absorb nutrients well.
Gotcha.
So I always have to take pancreatic enzymes to help me absorb all the nutrients that I need. But and some patients have more lung issues, others have more digestive issues. There's I think over 1,500 mutations. So any little combination, there's just a little bit of a difference. So we're all different. All the patients are different.
Right.
Yeah.
So talk to me about dealing with this growing up. Because I know that had to be tough. I mean, because I know you said something about breathing, treated like a muscle, and so you're doing breathing treatments and all this stuff. So talk to me about kind of your childhood and high school and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I grew up, my parents were very straight up with me. I knew exactly what I had. I knew that I was not like the other kids. I had to spend a bit more time taking care of myself. So I grew up knowing all of this. I knew that I had to take care, and my health was priority. I couldn't hang out with friends unless I did my treatments, which consisted of the nebulized medicine. So I inhaled some medicine. I first took albuterol, which just opens up it's like an inhaler. People with asthma have it.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing. It just opens up your lungs and your little albuterols and all the pathways.
Gotcha.
So you can breathe clearer. And then I did a lot of inhaled antibiotics and salt water, because that kind of breaks down the mucus.
Okay.
And then my parents would we called it clapping, but they kind of just beat on my chest, on my back, and that would help the mucus kind of detach from your lungs. Okay. And then it's nasty, but you just cough it up.
Well, I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, exactly. So that was morning and night. It took around an hour.
So that was for your whole 18 years or?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, every day. And science got better. They always came up with little new machines that would make the process quicker. But again, with my mutations, it didn't matter how much exercise I did. My lungs just kept going worse and worse. So they had new technology, but I still had to give more of my time and effort to stay healthy.
Wow.
But my childhood was good. We traveled, they just treated me the same.
So you're just normal.
I'm just normal person, just have to take care a bit more of myself.
That's what's up.
My parents were great at that.
Were they into fitness at all?
No, actually. Okay, my dad is, or was at that time, a photographer.
Okay.
So commercial and non-commercial, I don't know what the other word is.
Yeah, I guess amateur, would be the, or, I don't know.
Family portraits and then commercial businesses.
I know what you're talking about. It's not amateur, but I know what you're talking about. I can't think, it'll come to me in a second.
And my mom was a stay-home mom, in Spain she was.
Yeah.
And it was...
Freelance.
Yes, yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
exactly. So, yeah, I mean, I love my childhood. I have no regrets.
Yeah,
No
well,
bad memories.
I was just curious because like I know that had to be tough, like seeing everybody being able to do their thing,
It
and then
was, my lung function was pretty good. Like, it
okay,
was so you're kind of born at 100%.
yeah,
Or like whatever percent. And then you
okay,
slowly like deteriorate. So
gotcha.
actually my hardest years were probably high school and college.
Mm.
Because I'm like a go, go, go kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
I was raised to like not stay at home, like
Right,
always
right.
do something proactive. So whenever we moved to Maryville, December 2012.
So that would have
So
made you what grade?
smack mid junior year in high school, which like threw me into a big depression.
That's
Like
a culture shock.
it is a culture shock, and not only that, like I feel like high school you really like you need your cliques.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people here were
Already
with the
clicked
same
up.
people
Yeah.
from preschool to like college, pretty much.
Yeah, they say that's why they're so good at sports like that because we all come
They
up
all
playing.
know each other. Yeah, they know their
no tendencies, no behaviors, but
exactly. So that threw me into a big depression, and I think that's really what started my decline in my health. I stopped working out, I stopped dancing, everything.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, and again, if you don't use your muscles, they wither. Finally, I got back into it. Ran track actually senior year.
So okay, that's
At 42 lung function. Yeah, it was awful. My dad thought I was gonna quit, so I had to stay in it. Like I had to like push through, but it sucked. Can I say sucked?
Yeah, you say
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was awful. And
Hold
then
on. So
yeah.
So what did you run?
100 and 200 open.
So that's exactly what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
So what is it like running a 200-meter dash with 43% lung capacity? Because I can't breathe, and I'm not sure mine's 100%, but it's. I mean.
Oh, it still sucks. Like running still sucks.
Okay.
So just imagine breathing through a straw. That's the best description for it. Now, at that time, it'd probably be like a thicker straw. But I ended up at 13% lung function right before my transplant. Now, that is like breathing through like a coffee straw, basically.
So before we get to the transplant, I got one more question for you. So I'm assuming with all this, having to train your lungs every day, that taught you consistency.
Yeah.
So it taught you like behaviors, doing the same thing, repetitive.
Consistency.
Because a lot of times I know with you being a personal trainer, that's the main thing to fitness and healthy lifestyles, just doing the same thing over and over and over again. So talk to me a little bit about like that, like, It
got very hard during college.
Okay.
Because at that age, I mean, I admit it now, I'm 24, and like, I think back 2 years ago, I'm like, damn, I was stupid for doing all that. Everybody does their own thing in college. You learn a lot in college.
Hey, that's what college is for, is learning, not necessarily books. It could be books, it could be life.
You learn about life, about yourself, everything.
No doubt.
I was into a lot of things in college. I was in the dance team, choir, diversity group, diversity scholar, so like you actually have to do stuff for that. Philanthropy group, and 18 credit hours. And I worked part-time at Old Navy.
Oh, wow.
So that's a lot for...
I knew I've seen you before. What year did you work at Old Navy? What year was it?
2014 to 2017.
I worked there for like a couple months in 2011. No, 2007. So, never mind.
Yeah, I wasn't even in the U.S. Yeah.
Never mind. Keep going.
You're good. So I definitely skipped on a lot of treatments.
Yeah, no doubt. It sounded like you were busy.
I was very busy. I put more emphasis on my social activities, or even studies. Like I go home after dance practice and I don't want to spend 2 hours doing therapy. I need to study or everything, or I would just pass out in bed. So I would, what I call half-ass it, just like breathe the treatment, but not pay attention on your breaths and actually like inhaling and everything. So I really think I deteriorated my body I increased the process of, because I put my body through a lot of stuff, not a lot of sleep.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I mean, in the fitness world, sleep is as important
Exactly. I
as
sleep
eating.
more than I lift and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, they make fun of me all the time because if I sit still for 10 minutes,
Me too. Like, I can sleep wherever.
I could go sleep now.
Yeah, exactly. So, I really think I had part into it, but it is what it is, honestly.
That's what's up. So I'm just trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out you as the person. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out you as the person. So like, you sound like you're a really strong person. You move halfway across the world.
Yeah.
To a small little town, like talking about a straw, like on the map.
Yeah.
It's a small little dot, right? And you dealing with all this and having this, is it a disease? Is that what you call it?
It is. It's a genetic illness.
Okay, so
no cure.
Yeah, so you have this genetic illness, and you battling, and you still doing your thing. Mm-hmm. And then,
I have a very strong mind. Don't ask me where I got it from, how I would train for it.
Okay.
I've had a lot of hurdles in my life, and I just kind of taught myself that no matter what, I'll overcome it somehow. I have a really good support system.
Okay.
But yeah, if you don't have a positive mind, you're pretty much not going to achieve anything. That's...
Talk to me about that, because that's I deal with that a lot, and I'm not even like on no pity party as far as but it's just like I deal with that a lot. Like I beat myself up, and nothing's ever good enough.
That's how I'm a perfectionist. Yeah.
Yeah. So talk to me about how you kind
of. My process, huh? I don't even know how I do it sometimes. It's just, I'm just full throttle kind of person. I do have my ups and downs. Like
we all do.
I still have like depression. If I go off my meds, like I'm bad. So it just takes realization of what you're doing now, what you could do to make it better, and just kind of like snap out of it. Like if I feel myself like kind of like looping into the bad thoughts and everything, I just distract myself. And that could be bad or good, trying to like focus on something else and not deal with the issue, but that's just how I do it.
Right.
And it's worked for 24 years.
That's what's up.
Yeah. But definitely like whenever I was told I needed a transplant and go through all this, I was very scared, and I didn't know. Like, it doesn't look good on paper. Like, they tell you the statistics of, like, survival and everything.
So what are the statistics for survival?
A lot of people don't even survive the first year. So basically they get the transplant. They get the transplant, and the body just rejects the organ. It goes into self-defense. They see something that does not belong there. It's not theirs. It's not the same DNA, so they just attack it. And, So... that definitely, I had a really bad summer, 2018, I guess. That's when I was told I needed a transplant.
So when did you graduate from Maribel College?
So I had to take a year off. Okay. So I actually put pause on it, medical pause.
So so this happens while you're in school.
Okay. Going into that, I guess it'll explain the mental toughness. I'm a perfectionist. Everybody knows that. Everybody tells me you don't have to be perfect. You know, if you're a perfectionist, you understand. Like
the fitness bodybuilding lifestyle is nothing will ever be good enough.
Exactly. You always work to the next level.
You never see where you come. You just see where you're going.
Exactly. Yeah. So, all these. Everybody says, "Oh, you've come such a far way." I'm like, "Yeah, but not far enough."
Right.
I have other goals to do. But yeah, I was told I needed a transplant 2018, and at that time,
what year were you? A junior?
I was a junior.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
So I only needed one more year.
Okay.
And I took on a lot of classes my first 2 years, so I could kind of like ride along senior year.
Right.
I actually had an internship scheduled in the Caribbean, in Belize. My dad is from Belize.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was so pumped. for that. And actually, CFers once a year go to the hospital and get IV treatments for 2 weeks, just like as a cleanse. Like nothing has to really go on.
Right.
You just kind of like cleanse your body from any kind of infection. So me, as the proactive person, I was like, okay, I'm gonna voluntarily put myself in the hospital to get ready for like this big 1 month trip. So I walked in there with breathing fine, like still 35% lung function, but breathing fine. I could manage.
Yeah.
Well, I caught pneumonia in there. I was only supposed to be there for a weekend, just for them to start the IV, see if I had any reactions to the medicine. And I caught pneumonia in there, and that's what did it. I was in the ICU twice. I stayed for a month in the hospital. Oxygen, everything. And that's when the news broke where you probably need a transplant. Because you have to be like healthy enough to survive a transplant, but sick enough where you actually need a transplant. So they call it the transplant window.
Oh, okay.
So I was there.
Yeah.
After that pneumonia scenario. So that's really what like spiraled me into like depression again. Like even like working out did not bring me any joy. And once that happened, I was like, I really need to like seek some help. Because
no doubt.
It's funny because like every time during the summer break, I went into a bit of a depression because I didn't have anything to do.
Right.
I just worked, but that's only like at Old Navy it's like 4-hour shifts.
Yeah, I remember. It's like I think I unloaded the truck and then I folded the clothes for a couple hours or something, and then they let me go.
Sucked.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Me either. I always fell into depression, but never admitted it.
Yeah.
I never came to like, because at that point I was like depression defeat kind of thing. Well, once working out did not bring me any joy. I was like, there's an issue here. So I went on medicine, and like I kind of like that summer was rough, but my now fiance, back then boyfriend, really like helped me, like just entertain me. Just we went to the golf course, we went to the river, everything to just keep my mind entertained.
Yeah, that's what's up.
And that was the trick for me. Just because as soon as I was home, I just like snap it back into bad thoughts. So from then I went to Duke for a 1 week evaluation, and just having there's so many tests. I woke up at 5 a.m. to go be at the hospital by 6 a.m. and there was like back-to-back tests until 2 p.m. And for somebody that needs oxygen, back then I needed oxygen. I was only on 2 liters, but enough to like can get you kind of tired like within 5 minutes.
Wow.
So seeing the doctor, seeing their process. I mean, Duke is, not to be biased, but they're one of
Duke?
the
You like Duke?
The hospital?
Oh no, the school, the program, the sports.
I don't know about that part.
Yeah, okay. You said,
what
okay,
I mean,
okay,
Duke is like the hospital.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't follow them or
Okay,
anything.
Yeah. I thought that's where you were going with that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah.
Just the medical part is really, they have a really good program.
Yeah, I've heard it. I mean, Duke is Duke.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So medical field, really good. So just meeting everything kind of give me a peace of mind. So from there, I just like I guess how I rolled was you just have to still enjoy life. You have to do what you gotta do. I still want to survive. Still want to be in this planet. It's too early for me, so you just gotta do what you gotta do. That's my motto, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it, man. I honestly don't know. Like my parents suffered more than I did. Just seeing me go through all that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And I mean, I did get a lot of breakdowns of like, why me? What? But that's a waste of time at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And honestly, CF has made me like the person who I am. As cliche as that sounds, but like I'm a tougher person. I work through anything that life puts me through.
Right.
And you just gotta like jump the little hurdle, get to the other side. Yeah, so I guess we're going in the transplant process.
Yeah, so we're headed.
Okay,
Yeah. But and not just and after, kind of hearing about your story
Yeah.
and then the video you posted on Facebook, I think it was yesterday or the day
Yeah,
before,
my
something like that.
second lung anniversary.
It's, I just saw so much, and I was like, man, let me reach back out to her, and we got to make this happen, because I just saw so much determination and just so much, like a lot of people just give up.
Yeah.
And I didn't see that in any of that. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah, keep going.
There was one day I was like, I can't do this. I can't. And then I just slept it. I slept it off, and I was good the next day. It's like, I gotta do this. Like, it's either this or honestly, like, straight up, I die next month. So
that's a tough pill to swallow, though. That's a tough decision to make too.
It is. And transplant is not for everybody, obviously. It's a lot. You have to be very tough, mentally, physically, and everything. A lot of people choose not to get transplants, and that's completely fair.
Yeah, no doubt.
A lot of people don't have the right mind to get one and go through all the crap that I'm gonna tell you. But it was my choice, and I don't regret it. But so basically,
before you get started,
yeah.
So regret it. Like what? So what's the negative as far as the regret? What would cause you to regret it besides the obvious, like death? I don't know if that would even cause you to regret it, but like what do you mean? I guess
you basically, transplant is not a cure. You're basically swapping one set of issues for another. So to throw some examples, I'm very high risk of any kind of illness because my immune system is suppressed. So the body doesn't attack my new organs. I'm more likely to get cancer, skin cancer especially, kidney failure from all the drugs I have to take. There's just...
So it's like that commercial when they're saying, "Hey, this medicine does all this great stuff."
Exactly, and then like rapidly, they're like, no, cause death.
Dang.
Yeah.
Whoa. So now I get the decision you got to make.
Yeah.
I don't want to take that. So I get it.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
now
I know a lot of people who have like died on the table. I'm like, yeah. So it's definitely not for everybody.
Yeah. No. Now I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. And you have to be very strict on your medicine regimen and everything, because any little change can like take your body in a loophole and roller coaster. But anyway, so I made the decision to get a transplant, and you have to get accepted at Duke. So I got,
which isn't surprising.
Yeah,
Duke.
Exactly. A lot of people get accepted.
Okay.
Weirdly enough, but they just basically look at your medical chart and see, and they're like, okay, she got this, and this is her history. Okay, we can help her.
Okay.
The evaluation process is where they determine if they can or can't help you. They do brain CTs. You meet psychologists, psychiatrists, 3 surgeons, so cardiothoracic, so from the lungs, abdomen surgeon, 3 pulmonologists, a liver doctor. You get, the first day, it started at 7 a.m. and I had to give 24 vials of blood. Like, they check everything. I don't even know half of the things they check. But they're checking your immune system, your antibody, like anything, everything. Wow. So, it was just a lot of like random stuff that they made me do, like, and half of them I'm like, why did you need to see my brain? Honestly, like you're working with lungs and liver. Yeah. But they don't take any risks. Like if they see something suspicious, they will treat you first for that. And then if they think you're capable of surviving the transplant, then they'll work on that.
Gotcha. So
I know a lot of people that like were in different hospitals that their doctors just gave them like hardcore pain meds, and Duke would not accept them because of the pain meds. You cannot be on pain meds. That's just an example, but so they would work on that, wean them off the pain meds, and then they would go to like the transplant process.
Gotcha.
So it's a whole 15 to 25 pages of instructions. But long story short, I got accepted. And they actually accepted me a month after our evaluation process.
Okay.
So after that, they were like, they called me and they were like, how soon can you get here? So I actually had to move to Durham, North Carolina.
Okay.
Because you have to be within 2 hours of the hospital.
Okay. That makes sense.
Once you're in the transplant on the donor list, you have to be like 30 minutes within the hospital.
Okay.
Because you never know when you're going to get the call.
Right.
So my dad was my main caregiver. He had his own landscape business. And he decided he'd be the easiest person to like just quit their job. Because my mom has the insurance.
Okay.
She works at Children's Hospital.
Oh, nice.
She's an interpreter.
Okay.
She loves it.
What language?
Spanish, English.
Okay.
Yeah, so she usually works in the ER and sees all that folk. Yeah.
That's what's up.
So we needed insurance for this.
Right. Yeah, of course.
So it was me and my dad, and I'm a daddy's girl.
No doubt.
We're like
I can kind of see that.
Yeah, we're the same person. I look like my mom, but have my dad's personality.
That's what's up.
But yeah, we moved there. We had to get an apartment. And then the next day, rehab started. So you
start rehab before the surgery?
Yes. So that's one different thing. The one thing that's different from Duke, if you're not in rehab, cardiopulmonary rehab, for at least 30 days, you're not getting a transplant. So, and that's, again, with a transplant window where you have to be strong enough, but sick enough where you need it.
Gotcha.
So the healthier you go into transplant within, like, the window, the healthier you'll come out, basically.
Gotcha. So,
the first 26, and rehab is Monday to Friday, 3 days, 3 hours, yeah. So that was my life, until I got my call. But basically, the first 26 sessions, it's rehab for 3 hours and then an educational class. So they really prep you to, like, what you're going to expect, what you should not do, what you won't be able to do, just anything.
Wow.
Just to open your eyes into what you're really getting yourself into, because there's so much. Once you graduate that 26 days, you go into real rehab. And that's where you're on the donor list and you're active. So at any moment in time, you can get a call.
So the call.
Yeah.
There's
a lot. Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out, like, so. Well, go ahead. I'm sure you're gonna get to it. So never mind. Go ahead.
So rehab is, we walked, we biked, we did like a floor class, like a lot of like more yoga stuff, like abdominal breathing, light weights, ankle weights, kind of stuff like that. Yeah. And then either it's leg day or upper body day. So you do that every session.
So it's not like fitness.
Yeah, they're just working your lungs and cardio and gain muscle. Because you don't realize how much you use your legs or your arms until you don't have them. Because after transplant, you need to learn how to walk again. You need to learn how to feed yourself. Like, you're just immobile, basically. You wither so fast. I mean, I'm sure being fitness, if you don't work out for a month, like, you lose muscle. It's so hard to gain, but you lose it so quickly. So that's what they worked on, like endurance and strength. And you do it every day, 5 days a week. And the call, each patient has a coordinator. And the coordinator deals with, she's like the middleman between you and the doctor. Okay. Because the doctor has so many patients, and she's kind of like, she'll tell you what to do after consulting with the doctor, basically. But when you get the call, it can be any time. And they'll say, hey, we got organs for you. And at that point, you have like 1 hour to get ready, pack your bags. They said to have like like when it's like pregnancy, when you're expecting, you have to have a bag
so
ready.
So when you're ready for the call, you got a bag ready.
Yes.
The whole
So
time.
yeah, and it's more for the caregiver because they'll treat the patients.
Yeah.
But for me, it was like a mini fan that clipped to the bed because I cannot stand stale rooms.
I hear that.
And then the rest was like a pillow for my parents or snacks for my parents, pajamas for myself, anything to feel like anything comforting. Like my things were the fan and lotion. I cannot have dry skin. I cannot deal with dry skin.
I hear that. Me neither.
Yeah. So they're like, hey, we got organs. Be here in an hour. So you drive there, and at this point, you don't know if it's an actual go, because while you go to the hospital, the surgeons themselves go and fly to where the donor is and check the lungs. And that's another difference from Duke, where they don't only pay attention to the paperwork they get sent. They physically go see the lungs, and they're like, okay, they're good enough, or because they gotta go inside the lungs somehow. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're like, we saw this spot. I don't think it's a great match. Because the average time at Duke is 2 weeks to get lungs. And I have plenty of friends who like are in their 5th year trying to wait for lungs because they only pay attention to the paper, in that center. But anyway.
So checking the lungs, these are people that passed away, that donated their organs?
So
Gotcha.
a lot of the people are actually, and I didn't know this was new, because I thought, they got in a car accident, they're dead in the scene, they're going to donate. And only like 2% of donors are in those cases, actually. So a lot of them, most of them are like OD'd, or called brain dead. Very sticky subject or delicate subject, but that's where most of your donors will come. So you can OD on whatever, and your organs still be good to donate. They can. It depends on what you're looking, but lungs, like when you OD, it goes to your stomach first, then your liver process it. So the liver might not be good, but the lungs are perfect. The heart is perfect. The skin is perfect.
Gotcha.
So I think a donor, one person can save 72 lives. Something insane like that.
Wow.
Because they literally donate everything.
See, we were talking about that. Me and my wife was talking about, because like how I was raised, you bury the body,
exactly,
all that. But she got me to thinking. I said, well, I'm not gonna be using it. Why wouldn't I donate it to somebody that could use it?
I mean,
so I'm really gonna make a I'm really gonna sign that thing on the back of my driver's license, because
I try to encourage people, and so like you can save 72 lives, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm much rather you bury an empty casket and I save 72 lives than if you really want to have a ceremony.
I mean, or they cremate you and whatever your belief process, whatever that is. But most of them are brain dead.
Wow. So you get the call.
I get the call.
So explain to me getting the call. What is that feeling like? Because that's like, I don't mean cut you off, but that's got to be like a high and a low, and it meets like a crash.
It's a lot of mixed emotions, definitely. And my case was a bit different because usually it's like, hey, we got the call, we got organs, come to the hospital. But for me, since I needed 2 different organs, mine was kind of wishy-washy just because they called me and said, hey, we got organs, but... we got organs, but the patient or the donor might have had hepatitis C in his liver. Ooh. And that I had never heard. Like you hear of that.
Yeah, I've heard
you
of
hear
it.
the hepatitis B and C, and like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Like that's not good.
Yeah.
So they're like, you can accept or you can decline the offer, and if you decline, it's no bad feelings, like no harsh feelings. It goes to the next person in line. And then we kind of wanted more information. about that, like how it would affect me if it went into my body, just stuff like that, just educating yourself about it.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it was like 4 calls to like just learning about it. And apparently, if you get it, it's just a pill you have to take nowadays.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
That's making you feel better about it.
Yeah, so it doesn't affect you anything. Like, you just take a pill and it's gone, pretty much. Nice. Or you treat it. So once I heard that, and my mom working at a hospital, she asked a bunch of doctors, and they're like, yeah, it's no issue. Like, it sounds scary, but honestly, you just take a pill and done.
Yeah.
And so that's when I was like, okay, I'm accepting. So you get like these like butterflies, like, crap, like I'm actually doing this. Mm-hmm. And I really thought I was gonna cry. I didn't. Mm-hmm. I was kind of like, because I waited 8 months for the call, and apparently I got a lot of lung offers, but the liver didn't come with it.
Gotcha.
Just because like there's so many other patients that like are really sick and need a liver that it didn't come to me first.
Gotcha.
But so it was weird. So I got the call. I'm like, okay, I got an hour. So the first thought that comes to mind is like, I'm gonna take a real shower, because like after transplant, I didn't shower for like a month.
Wow.
It was only like sponge baths, because you can't get anything wet.
Right.
So it's like, I'm gonna take a real shower. I'm gonna wash my hair. I'm gonna style it, and I just did braids because that's the easiest thing when you're like a month in a hospital.
Right.
I painted my nails, and I ate prosciutto and Sunny D, because those are 2 things that I can't have after transplant.
So what is prosciutto? I'm not sure.
Prosciutto is like dried salty ham.
Oh, so, nice. I like ham,
Yeah, so it's like, it's Italian, and I can't have any cold cuts. Mm-hmm. I have to like nook them in the microwave. So I was like, I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to have prosciutto, and I can't have Sunny D. Oh, I miss it so much. I can't have it because it has, not pomegranate. It has, what's the other big citrus? It's pomegranate.
Mangoes. It'll come to me in a second.
Yeah, it'll come. Grapefruit.
Grapefruit, yeah.
So I can't have grapefruit because it affects with my meds somehow. So it's like, well, it's my last time to have Sunny D, so I had like a gallon of it. And Dad and I was just celebrating, and then we just went to the hospital, and the process there is like, you get checked in, and they take you to this back room. And there they like just kind of prep you for like normal surgery. Like, they give you your gown, undress, give you a gown, put your heart monitors, start an IV kind of thing. And the one thing they did do is give me my first dosage of immunosuppressant drugs. So it's just like a little pill that they pop open and you eat the powders. Gotcha. So they're prepping your body already to accept new organs. So they're lowering your immune system already. Okay. And then it's just the wait was like an average of like maybe 5 to 6 hours until you get the call where like it's a go. And again, like if it's not a go, they call it a dry run, and they just like, you just go home after that. So we just went to bed. At that time, my mom drove from Maryville, and my fiance drove from Georgia, South Georgia. So they got there at 3 a.m. and we just waited. Like we just went to bed. We slept there, and at 6 a.m. my dad, I remember this vividly. My dad wakes me up, and he was crying. Like, my parents are more emotional than I am with all this, understandably, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt.
He was crying, says, it's a go. And I was like, holy crap, like, this is happening. So, yeah, from there, literally, it was just, once it's a go, you have like 2 minutes to say your goodbyes or see you later, and they just wheel you into the OR. And I don't remember anything after those doors open into the OR.
Wow.
And then the average the lung and liver transplant surgery lasts is like, they say 16 to 20 hours. Mine was a record-breaking time. It was 9.5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, so they did the abdomen first, and then they sewed that back in. And then I had 2 lung surgeons, and one did the right lung and one did the left lung, like, simultaneously.
Oh, wow.
Somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds
That's above my pay grade in education.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah.
So surgery's done, and the first memory I have is being intubated and tied down to the bed.
Why tied down?
Because apparently I was trying to pull my breathing tube out. That breathing tube is such a weird thing. Like, I'd be fine being unconscious, but once you're awake, it's weird. Like, you don't have to breathe, a machine breathes for you. So yeah, I was like, the first memory, it was getting tied to the bed, and I was in and out of sleep. I was on so many drugs. I like don't remember half of it.
Right.
And I remember like being, because they kept saying, soon, we'll extubate you soon. So I kept like counting down to 3 to see like, okay, these people are lying to me. Like 3 soon is like 3 seconds to me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so I was like, I remember like fully awake. It was like 3, 2, 1, and I would just punch the bed as hard as I could. I was just so frustrated. But yeah, that was my first memory. And then 4 hours after surgery, they already stand you up to walk. It's some crazy stuff like that. And you have like, I had like 6 IVs going on. I had like one on my neck, which is the big one. I think I still have the mark of it. In my neck, both arms, hands, just pumping you with meds constantly. Yeah. But they still like, they want exercise to be the first thing you do.
I guess I could see why though, because to create that muscle memory.
Exactly. Muscle memory and just start working those new lungs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was something.
Wow.
Dad snuck in a video of me doing my first steps.
Yeah, and that's all. Yeah. So talk to me about that. Was that like a success or was that like painful?
Anything. It's not painful. You're on so many pain meds. Like I was on morphine, Dilaudid, and ketamine, which is a horse tranquilizer. So and an epidural.
Okay.
So it doesn't hurt. Like I had one time where my epidural kind of fell out, and that was the worst pain ever.
I bet.
But it's more muscle pain, just because you're in the OR, like that. It's either right here or right here for 9 hours. So it's more like contractions and muscle pain.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. But besides that, like, it doesn't really hurt. It's just more soreness and discomfort. Because when I got out, I had 6 draining tubes, and that's like in between your ribs and in your lung cavity. So I had 6 of those just draining fluid constantly. So it's more discomfort.
Gotcha.
And you feel like you breathe worse than when you went in. And that's very frustrating. Gotcha. But slowly got better. So the first steps were like, I don't remember how I got up, but I remember walking through the hallway, and it felt like the longest hallway. Oh my gosh. Once like I started walking fast, it was super short. Right. But at that time, like my meds made me dizzy. My eye vision was blurry. So like you just have to like focus on 1 step, 2 steps, and you have to learn how to breathe too at the same time. And your breathing is so much different before surgery than after, and when you're recovered. Because whenever I had CF in my lungs, you kind of like, it was very short breaths and shallow. So like, that's all I could breathe. And that's muscle memory. So I kept breathing like that for the longest time. And they said, no, like you actually have to like inhale deeply because your lungs work. So that was the hardest, honestly, that was one of the hardest things to like realized. It was like, I can breathe now. I don't have to take shallow breaths. So you're walking, and like anytime I can only see clear, like straight at me, straight in front of me. Like if I slightly turn my head, I'd get like dizzy and oozy. It was very weird.
Yeah.
I can't compare it to anything else, honestly.
Yeah.
Just like very drunk, I guess.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
everything spins.
Even that though,
yeah. But slowly, just like you just walk a bit more, walk faster.
So how long you think it was your rehab before you were like kind of walking at a normal pace?
It probably, let's see, probably 2.5 weeks, or maybe by the third week.
Yeah.
I walked faster than my original like pre-transplant pace.
So you could walk without like a
walker?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I could a few steps, like it's all baby steps there.
Yeah. No
but I think by the third week I could take like one lap around the floor without a walker, and then I would use the walker to like help myself. But yeah, I was in there for 29 days after.
Okay.
So it's not that bad. Honestly, compared to other transplants, mine was pretty smooth.
Yeah, sounds like it. Record-breaking time, 2.5, 3 weeks.
The only issues I had, I need a feeding tube.
Okay.
So it's just I have the scar here, but it's just a tube that goes to your stomach.
Yeah. My mom had one.
Yeah. And I hated it. Stubborn me did not like it.
Yeah, I can.
So I forced myself to eat instead of using it. So yeah, I think, and then the other thing, they take blood every day just to check your level, see if everything is working.
Right.
And my liver numbers were kind of funky, so they just went in and put like a little stent in the liver. And that seemed to be the answer. And
wow.
I did acupuncture. It was all just muscle spasms. Yeah, basically. Yeah. Besides that, it was pretty smooth compared to other people. So I'm really blessed for that.
No doubt.
Made it much easier on me. Doubt. Yeah, so I was there 1 month, and I was very bloated. I mean, your body's really poofy. You don't feel like yourself.
You're probably holding all your water.
Yeah,
and everything you eating or drinking is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so to put in comparison, I went in surgery weighing 122 pounds. And I got up to 165 and all water weight. It was all water weight.
Wow.
So yeah, very bloated. It was very frustrating because I'm used to being very petite.
Yeah.
And now I gained 40 pounds in 2 days.
Wow.
So yeah, that hurdle was jumped.
Yeah.
And then they send you home with a pill case this big, filled with meds, and you have to learn everything.
Yeah.
But I went home, and then the next day rehab starts again. Yeah, they don't give a crap. You're exercising. So yeah, I mean, it was.
Sounds intense.
Yeah. Now that I look back at it, it is intense. But that's your life then. Yeah. All your friends that you make there are going through the exact same thing.
That must be cool to have.
It is really cool. Yeah. It's because as a CFer, you can't be with other CFers. Just because I have a set of bacteria or infections, and if we're close to each other, we might cross contaminate.
Gotcha.
So we can't be together. So you can't relate in person with people that have the exact same thing going on.
Gotcha.
So in rehab it was cool because you'd see others there's a lot of people 60 and above there. Most people with COPD or black lung are there. But then there's some that are your age, and it's so cool. It's such a neat experience. You just meeting somebody that's just like you. It's going through the exact same thing, and you kind of just it's your family. Honestly,
yeah, no doubt.
You can talk to them about anything that even your parents or other family can't understand.
Right.
So it's a great support system. I mean, I loved it. I made lifelong friends there.
That's what's up.
But yeah,
So talk to me kind of like, so you're out of school at this time, you're rehabbing.
Yeah.
So about how long was it before you went back and graduated?
So, let's see. I got my transplant June 29th, 2018.
Okay.
So I just celebrated my 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And then by this time, I was already studying to be a personal trainer. While I was waiting for organs, I was studying.
While you were in rehab before the surgery, you were studying. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
I had a medical leave at school.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to do the whole online thing. Yeah. It was just too much. I had so many things going on. I was always tired.
Yeah.
So I got the medical leave, and within the week, like, this is how my brain works. Within a week, I was like, I am so bored. I need to learn something, do something new. Like, what a better time than learn to be a personal trainer. I can focus all my time in that.
Wow, that's dope.
So,
see, we were talking about this on a podcast one time, glass half empty or glass half full. You sound like a glass half full type of person, so that's dope. Yeah.
Exactly. So, I got certified, I think 2 months after my transplant. And within, like, let's see, I got my transplant in June. We moved back officially to Maryville October.
Okay.
So it was exactly 1 year we were in North Carolina. And in November, I started working as a personal trainer.
That's what's up.
Yes, I'm still there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt. Yeah, that's where I met her. That's where I saw her at.
So I don't even remember the question you asked.
No, the question was just kind of like, the timeline from, the surgery to, kind of getting through school, getting back acclimated into society
school
and work and stuff like that.
So I decided to not go right into it. I took the fall semester for myself, just learn to live with new organs, new lifestyle.
Right.
Like, I don't have to do any therapies now.
Okay.
So I calculated it, and I gained an entire month in a year.
Okay.
Without doing, so you have so much time. Like, in the beginning, you're like, I have so much time. Like, I'm not doing treatments. I'm not coughing. You're like, you have so much time in your hands, you do not know what to do. Honestly, like, it's insane.
Wow.
Now, a day goes by so fast.
Right, yeah. Super quick.
Yeah. But, so I took the fall semester off, and I got the approval from my doctors, and I started school again in the spring semester. And by then, I literally only needed one class, my thesis. So Maryville College is required to have a thesis.
Okay.
So that's, usually it's a year-long project that you work on, but I refuse to do it that way. I always have to be different. I did it in a semester, and then in internship, which I did at National Fitness.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So easy. Like,
that's what's up.
I think I had to do like 130 hours, and every workout I prolonged it 2 hours. Like, check, 2 hours gone, as that's observation.
Yeah, no doubt.
Which, I mean, that's what you do at the gym. You observe other people.
Yeah.
Learn from them.
Yeah.
So I only needed one semester, and I graduated May 2019.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So about almost a year.
Yeah, just a year.
Yeah. Sure, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad I took so many credit hours in the beginning.
Yeah.
That would have sucked, going back and having to take all these classes.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It felt so weird going back to school.
Yeah.
It's like, because I was a year off. I'm like, man, I have to go back? Like, that, no. Graduated Maryville College. I have a design degree, graphic design.
Wow.
Which, at that point, I started college and I'm like, what are my passions? Because if I don't like it, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
So at that time, it was like art, design. So I went into the design program and went through it. Didn't change my major. I really enjoyed it. And then the transplant process kind of got me thinking. I was like, you have a lot of time to think. So it's dangerous. But just got me thinking, like, design, you're stuck on a computer all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You just work with one client that you may or may not like.
Yeah, may not meet personally either.
Exactly. And I'm a very personable person. Like, I love human interaction. And I love helping people. Like, I'm the person that, like, puts you first instead of myself.
Oh, okay.
Kind of.
Okay.
And, like, I love to help people. I love to be needed, basically.
Right, I can do that.
Yeah. So I was like, well, let's try personal fitness. Like, you know, like, I have my degree in it. I thought I was going to do online coaching.
Yeah.
But it's kind of saturated now. Everybody thinks they can be a personal trainer and, like,
just write this cookie cutter meal plan.
Exactly. And there's already either, it's kind of like, I mean, you know this, like, on Instagram, like, you're not getting followers unless you're in a bikini kind of thing.
Yeah, women, you definitely got to be in a bikini. Yeah, you definitely got to be in a bikini. That's for sure,
showing your butt off or something. And I don't like that.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
I totally understand.
If I had a six-pack and, I mean, I was a bikini competitor, sure.
Yeah,
but even that, like, it's weird. Living in Maryville, everybody knows you kind of thing.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
I don't know. So anyway.
I totally get it. It's I talk about it all the time. Like, the internet is the hardest grind I've ever done in my life. It's a terrible hard.
You put more than 40 hours for sure.
Easy.
And like working from home, it's so easy not getting a break.
Right.
You're always thinking of the next step and like next thing you can do to like a bigger audience or like, oh, let me share this tip or something like that. Yeah. So there's not a break really.
And then if you miss a day, you might as well miss a month.
Exactly.
In the world,
yeah. Like you lose followers like that. It's crazy. So I had one of my mom's friends is a personal trainer there, and she recommended me. She actually went to Phil, and she was like, "You need to hire her.
That's what's
like
up.
You need her." So, I mean, I started with like 2 hours a week teaching. I was lucky enough that a trainer quit when I kind of got hired.
Oh, okay.
So I taught 2 fit classes, which is high intensity interval training. So I started that. For the longest time, I only had 1 client.
Wow.
And it just kind of like I mean, if you want a job that gives you 40 hours a week, a personal trainer is not where to start.
Okay.
Like, you have to build your clientele.
Oh, yeah. I've always heard that. Yeah, definitely.
Like, I know a lot of gyms, probably in, like, California and big cities like that, states, you're there 40 hours.
Yeah.
If people need you or you're just on the clock. At National Fitness, you have to gain your clients. So, basically, our manager would sell the memberships and would put the client with a trainer that he thinks would work for them. So I mean, I started getting a lot of like the medical cases and depression cases and a lot of women that need a young person.
You know, the motivation.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, it kind of snowballed, and now I have like 25 clients. And I teach 5 classes a week.
Wow,
it's a lot of work.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I mean, I've learned so much in this job. I never thought. I mean, when I started, I was so shy. I would never be able to do this. Like, I'd just sit in my corner, do my own thing. I wouldn't start up a conversation, and now you can't get me to shut up. Honestly, honestly. So it's definitely like, it's grown on me, and I love it.
That's what's up.
I love like the satisfaction of helping other people, seeing their progress, and that I help them do that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because without a trainer, they'd go downhill quickly.
Yeah, no doubt.
So yeah, I guess that's
what's up.
all summed up.
So to kind of switch gears a little bit, everybody that kind of comes on the podcast, I like to ask them, do you listen to any rap music, hip hop?
Oh, the current stuff, whatever it's on the radio, yeah.
Yeah, so would you have like a top 5 artists that
like
your
rap
go-to?
artists?
Rap artists.
I'm really bad with names. I mean,
You
Post
sing the song.
Malone.
Okay.
Post Malone is good.
So he be what, 5 or 1?
Probably, I guess, first one.
Okay.
Just because I'm so bad at names. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I know the song.
Yeah.
I don't know the artist.
Yeah, no, I can dig it. No, I can dig
it. Post Malone. Eminem.
Okay.
Old Eminem.
it. Yeah, old Eminem. Yeah, I can dig that. I can dig that.
He'd probably be, honestly, 5.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. I know songs. 6ix9ine, is that a thing? It's
6ix9ine. You like 6ix9ine? I've never really listened to his music. I just know his reputation.
I don't know his reputation. I know the songs. So,
Cool.
I really don't fall with reputation. If I like the song,
Word up.
yeah, good job, dude. Like, you did a good song.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Who else? I honestly I don't
That's
know.
3 out of 5.
Tell me names. Then maybe if I.
What song? I'm trying to think of the song you like. You probably like the Migos.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I guess
You
yeah,
said
that's
current
rap.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else is pop. See, I don't really listen to the current stuff as much. Some of it I do. I don't know.
Now ask me about rock.
Rock. Then who's your top 5 rock?
ACD.
Number 1 or 5?
Probably 1.
Okay.
AC/DC, Led Zeppelin,
Okay.
ZZ Top.
Okay. Yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne. I mean,
What? Really?
I don't seem like that kind of person.
No, you don't.
Do
No,
I?
you don't.
No.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
That music gets me fired up for a workout.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then let's see. ZZ Top. There's another one. Again, I listen to Pandora. So
Yeah.
AC/DC radio and whatever it plays, I love.
That's what's up.
But yeah, that's probably my top.
That's
Some
what's
of my
up.
top
That's
ones.
what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, I think my favorite, if we're going rock, and I don't know if this is really rock, but I always like Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
And I don't really listen to much rock though.
Some Metallica is good.
Metallica, I did listen to them.
Some I don't care for like the screamo kind of parts, but they have some songs that are good.
Right.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
that
I've heard a
rock?
few songs.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
rock-ish, yeah.
Mesh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, I don't want to keep y'all all night. So if you could leave the audience with something, and actually let them know where they can find you if you're looking for a personal trainer. We got one right here.
So I do have some online clients. I do offer that.
Okay.
If not, they can see me at National Fitness. Tell them I sent you. So my Instagram is K Norris. So the letter K as in Kathryn and Norris as in Chuck Norris. That's the easiest way to tell people. And then 301.
Okay.
So
and I'll put it on the screen so that
yeah.
way we can see it
Yeah.
and stuff, and everybody can follow you and
Yeah,
stuff.
I've been into a lot of. So I'm a nutrition coach too. So I've been into.
So I may have to holler at you about that because I gotta quit doing my own diets because it's always to be bigger and not leaner.
Yeah. So I post a lot of food stuff.
Okay.
So people seem to enjoy that. But yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So last question.
Yeah.
With all this adversity and all this you've been through, and you just always, every time I see you, got a smile on your face. If you could lead the audience with something like, because somebody has to be having a really bad day, but you sound like you had.
I grew into that. Yeah.
Yeah. So just give them just something to leave on, something to go home on.
Yeah. So I've actually been thinking about this question since you messaged me. I'm like, what can I tell people? Because, I don't know. So, probably the best answer is, and I had to learn this, no matter what you do, if you are a good person and you're honest and everything, and you work towards what you want, you're going to motivate somebody. Like, a lot of people think they don't have a purpose. And honestly, like, you might not even know the person. They might just be following you, or they know about you, they've heard about you, and you might inspire them and motivate them to do what they want. And I've had so many people not to toot my own horn, but like, because I don't consider, I just did what I have to do to survive, right? But I've had a lot of people come up to me and say, you're an inspiration, you like motivate me to come and do my own thing, not to give up. So any person, even if they know it or not, motivate, inspire, or help somebody in a direct or indirect way. So I guess just think about that. Know that you do have purpose. You're motivating somebody, you're helping them in any kind of way. If it's either like sharing like cute videos on Facebook,
tell
or
her post some bikini pics on the Instagram.
I mean, I'm sure that helps people too. Like anything, like you have a purpose, and just work towards your goals, and just be a nice person. That's
what's up. That's what's up. Well, I really appreciate you coming on. It was definitely a pleasure. We're gonna have to do it again because it was so much. We tackled the whole, the genetic.
It was the surface.
Yeah, so this is just the icing on the cake. So we're gonna get down to the to the actual cake.
Yeah.
And in
all
the future.
Layers.
Yeah, all the layers. That's it. Yeah, exactly. But as always, thank you for watching. This is the hashtag I Am Who I Am podcast. Depending on where you're listening to this at or watching it. Be sure to leave me a thumbs up, 5 stars, or definitely leave a comment, and definitely subscribe if you're on YouTube, or subscribe on everywhere, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, you name it, Anchor FM, everywhere you can get your podcast. So definitely tell a friend, whatever. And this is the hashtag I Am Who I Am podcast, episode 47. And as always, I'll be back. Yeah.